Welcome to the AFC East Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight, analysis, and heavy debates on all things AFC East. From the best creators in the division, including Buffalo Bills creator Dan Mitchell, Miami Dolphins creator TD Finstock, New York Jets creator Richie from Jets Media, and finally New England Patriots creator Colby from Patriots Global. Make sure you catch the AFC East Roundtable live every Monday at 7 p.m. EST and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST on the AFC East Roundtable YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the AFC East Roundtable, your weekly dose, or bi-weekly actually twice a week show where your four favorite creators get together and chop it up about your favorite division and all of football. Great episode today. We are going to be unpacking the travesty of a game that we witnessed on Monday night between the Dolphins and the New York Jets. We will be previewing week 5. So as you are coming in, we ask, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up sign and roll call in the chat. Let me know where you are tuning in from. What corner of the globe are you tapping in from? What team you represent? I'm talking to the lurkers as well. Anyone that's lurking that doesn't participate in the chat too often, we want to know where you're tuning in from. Sound off and let your team and area code be represented. Colby, what's up, man? How you doing?
You know, Dan, I'm gonna be honest. I got a bit of a bone to pick with the chat. A bit of a bone to pick, man. I'm gonna be honest because everybody was angry last week that evil Colby is coming out of the woodworks. Arrogant Colby. That's what some people were saying. Arrogant Colby is coming out of the woodworks. But I hope we realize that the people on this panel, in TD, sometimes you, Dan, but mostly Richie, especially the chat, they have made me the evil person that has shown itself out over the last few weeks, and especially last week, because you know what the narrative has been over the last few weeks, even the first few weeks, or last few years, even the last few weeks of this season, is the narrative has been worst team in the NFL. Bottom dwellers, awful team, terrible quarterback. But the second that we blow out a team, it automatically becomes, well, it's just the Panthers. Well, now, how does that make sense? Because if you're a team like the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs, you're expected to get those wins. But if we are this terrible team that everybody is saying we've been, which is rightfully so, then a dominant win like that against any team is major. So I'm going to keep bumping my chest out.
Well, that doesn't include me, Kobe.
So they do say that monsters are never born, they're made, right? And that's why I always tell them, like, oh, my God, Dan, you're getting a little too crazy about the Bills. Just remember who made me. It was all the naysayers in the chat for the longest time, you know?
I get it now, Dan. I get it.
Why is Dan becoming such a monster?
You made him one.
You made me
one.
You
made him one.
You made me one, and here we are. TD, what's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Beautiful day coming off of a victory. My team over an inferior, and man, I wish I can capitalize it, an inferior team this week. But yeah, man, good stuff, man. I just hope a lot of people show up today. Those people that was doing all that talking, early this week. I just hope they all show up, and I got to be honest with you, Dan, I feel bad for Richie. I just wish that Connor guy was available because, he's been doing a lot of talking for a long time too. And at the end of the day, I really want to see what he got to say now because his team is trash and we dominated them because we own the Jets. Right, Gardner?
Ridiculous. How you guys doing?
Hey, man. How you doing?
That guy, Tony Down, next to me on the screen.
That's right.
Richie is the best, but I kind of just got thrown into the fire today. I wasn't expecting to have to come on here and defend my team.
Ain't nothing to defend.
And he gives
exactly. You can't really defend much. I can say the officiating was god-awful.
Richie set this up. He knew.
I can tell you the officiating was god-awful, TD. That's what I'll tell you. Jets should have won by 2 scores. Bottom line. Braylon Allen shouldn't have fumbled in the first quarter. And that Garrett Wilson PI call, TD, was absolutely atrocious.
Well, funny enough, Connor, we actually have him clipped admitting that wasn't an offensive PI.
Yeah, of course.
As I look at it,
he actually admitted to it a couple of days ago. So
We still listen. All of that
defense.
aside, we still own them. Let's be honest, y'all. Let's just be honest. Okay, we own the Jets. They'll always be our little brothers. We take care of y'all, man. It's all good.
Well, so we're going to save that, obviously, because we would like to recap the game a little bit. We did recap it a tad on 4th and Forever yesterday, but obviously we need to hear Connor's perspective. Connor, how you doing outside of the Jets world, though? What's going on?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you guys having me. I'm happy to be here. And outside of the 0-4 start and losing to the Fish, I am I'm doing well. I'm doing well. No team is to save me because I'm a Met fan. Their season's over. The Jets season is over. I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, and we're already doing mock drafts for the NBA season.
We got to get you out of New York, my guy.
Preseason hasn't even started yet.
That's what it is.
I was punished 3 times. I'll say that.
Oh, man. It's been rough for Connor in the sports world, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, I asked everybody to roll call in the chat. Let's see how far this fan base extends. We have Roy, Utah is in the building. Virginia, Chattanooga is in the building. Buffalo, New York, Patriots Nation, Port St. Lucie, Florida, RJ, Alaska is in the building. Atlanta, Pats fan from LA, Miami, Wesley Chapel, Florida, Poughkeepsie, New York. We have White Plains, New York. Man, we are all over, man. We are nationwide up in here. Chico, Vegas, Blaisdell, New York. Damn, man. Listen, it's mostly Bills fans, though, as I could probably already guess. Let's see. We have Tom Brady is coming in. Hey, Colby, Jets are the 5th team in the past 90 years to be 0-4 without a takeaway. They still can't cause a fumble. Dan, get ready for an L. Go Pats. Tom Brady. Oh, don't worry, man. We're going to be talking about this here.
Funny, Dan? You know what's funny is just the downfall of the New York Jets. I can't even say the downfall because this is just like historically been. Exactly. I can't even say like the downfall because this is historically as bad as they've been. But I just want to say like why do like, and I don't mean to come at anybody's neck. But why do Jets fans like bump their chest about Aaron Rodgers and bump their chest about a new head coach? Like maybe wait to bump your chest until you actually do something. 2016, 5-11, 2017, 5-11, 2018, 4-12, 2019, 7-9, 2020, 2-14, 2021, 4-13, 2022, 7-10, 2023, 7-10, 2024, 5-12, and now 0-4. What are we doing?
And TD, when was the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game? Colby was not even alive.
Hold on. That's all fine and dandy when you talk about winning a playoff game. But Connor, Colby just educated me on something that I didn't even know.
That's what I'm here
Y'all haven't won more than 7 games in forever. 7.
Oh, what was the last time?
2015.
2015.
And they won.
It's been a decade. Wow.
They went 10-6 that year and missed the playoffs. It came down to the final game.
I remember that.
Fitzpatrick.
You were playing the Bills, right?
Yep. No, unfortunately.
Playing the Bills, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Interesting. We have Nick 3 is coming in. TD, it's time to take a page out of Dan's book and announce your new book, The Greatest Story Ever Told, Miami Dolphin Edition.
Hey, you know what?
Fins up. See, I feel like all of the good juju that went behind that greatest story ever told was all cashed out. And unfortunately, it ran out when it mattered most when we went up against the Kansas City Chiefs that year. So be careful with the greatest story ever told. I love the new evil Colby and Dan, but TD still best in the division. Fins up. No matter what.
Got you, JD.
JD the great, man. Dude, like I said, monsters are not born, they're created. Thank you, live chat. Now I'm a bitter person. And I shouldn't be because my team makes me smile now and is what it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about that Monday Night Football matchup. We heard a little bit. Well, actually, and so we heard a lot from TD Fins talk, right? I would like to hear from Connor, his perspective. Where do the Jets go from here? Connor, go off.
It was a brutal showing for the Jets, I think, to put it lightly. Frankly, I didn't have them winning this game. I picked them to win against Tampa Bay in week 3. I picked them to win in week 1. Did not have them winning last night. But the thing that annoyed me most watching this game was just the undisciplined play and the fact that the Jets could have easily won this football game. 13 penalties, 101 yards. The Dolphins had less than a minute of extra possession than the Jets. So the time of possession was pretty much even. The Jets had over 100 more yards of total offense. than the Dolphins did. This was such a winnable game for the Jets, and you point to just the little things that separate the defense and the offense, special teams included, from why the Jets couldn't win this game. Take the 100-yard penalty performance out of the picture. You have Isaiah Williams calling a fair catch inside the 5-yard line. I don't know the last time, if that has ever happened in an NFL game before, calling a fair catch inside the 5-yard line. And even before that, he takes out a kick return to open the second half that he shouldn't even have taken out, because it was about to roll out of bounds and give the Jets possession at their own 40-yard line to kickstart the offense. And instead he decides to take it out, fumbles, gives Miami an extra possession to open the second half. So just those costly errors, those costly miscues on special teams separate the difference from a win and a loss. I'm not one to typically blame officiating, but we know that wasn't a push-off from Garrett Wilson. We know, they could have been a lot more lenient on that late hit from Francisco Mauigoa on Tua Tagovailoa, like a nanosecond after he had slid down to the ground. It was the little things. It was the Dolphins punching the ball out of Braylon Allen's hands at their own 3-yard line and marching down the field for a 10-play, 97-yard drive.
Jack Jones.
Those things that separate the difference, from a team like the Jets to a team like the Dolphins. And as much as I hate the Dolphins and they're one of my least favorite teams in the division, I said it entering the game. This Dolphins team is talented. They were 0-3 entering last week, and I hate to say this. I hate to say it, but look, I just didn't see a world where the Jets could shut down Devon Achane. I did not see a world where the Jets can contain both Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Michael Carter II, whenever you line someone up against him in the slot this season, he's been a full liability. That proved true with Waddle. If Tyreek Hill didn't suffer that gruesome injury, he was in for an 150-yard plus performance. The Jets defense just simply could not stop this Dolphins offense. That's what it comes down to, on top of the costly miscues on special teams, just mistakes all over the field. And this team needs to complement each other in all three phases of the game. And they haven't done that 4 games through the 2025 season.
Connor knows.
Thoughts on the game, TD?
Yeah, man. First off, good take, Connor. You know ball. Basically, all I heard you say is we dominated y'all because we always do, and we always own y'all. But outside of that, man, he's right though. There's nothing he said that was wrong. I've already been on record saying the officiating wasn't the greatest. But at the same token, the Jets pretty much killed themselves all game with bad discipline. A-Chain was a handful as well. And the Jets defense, though, I'm going to add this to it. The Jets defense, man, what happened? Like, you cannot tell me that, losing one of the, what's his name? The corner you had last
DJ Reed.
Losing DJ Reed is making that big of a difference, because everything else, you got a lot of the same, personnel. I know there's some injuries. But this kind of fall off. But you know what? I want to get on a little pedestal real quick about one important point that I want to say I told y'all so. And I've been telling y'all for 3 years. Oh, this is going to feel so good. That holding bum, I told you the refs was going to start calling it more on him, because the whole league knows that Sauce Gardner is a habitual holder. He is a holding fiend. I told y'all this for his first 2 years, all pro and this and that. I said, man, that's about to catch up with him, because he actually holds religiously. But the league, young star, let him do his thing. No, too many people don't complain to the refs and it start getting too egregious. That's why they throw it all the time.
Well, no, I think I don't think the refs are in any favor of Sauce Gardner. He plays for,
of course they're not anymore.
Teams in the NFL. How about week 1 when he allowed 1 catch for 11 yards against DK?
How many targets? How many targets, Connor? How many targets?
4 or 5 targets. Allowed
that ain't much.
On DK Metcalf, an 11-yard.
But he got cooked the whole game versus the Dolphins.
But Tyreek Hill is not a favorable matchup for a big physical corner like Sauce Gardner.
You're talking about Tyreek Hill. Tyreek cooked him. Waddle cooked him. Washington cooked him. Even Darren Waller cooked him.
Man coverage.
Everybody cooked him. Connor. Everybody cooked him on the Dolphins. Everybody.
Who did he go up against? Tyreek the
Man,
whole game?
the right guard cooked him. I mean, everybody cooked him. I mean, come on, man. Like Sauce Gardner, they not letting him hold no more. They not letting him hold anymore. That's all it is. And y'all are feeling that. You're feeling the pain of the non-beneficial Sauce Gardner calls right now. Okay? And it's been happening all season. But y'all gonna keep on learning the hard way.
I want to get back to a point you mentioned earlier about the Jets defense. I'll say this as to the main reasons that they've been struggling. First, Jamie Sherwood, who just got paid 3 years, $45 million at the start of the offseason. He had a solid game against Miami, but he was looking borderline unplayable the first 3 games of the year. Michael Carter II, who was such a pivotal piece of this defense just a couple of years ago, got paid as the highest paid nickel corner in NFL history, has now continued to look unplayable as we saw under the primetime lights in Miami. And lastly, I think people believe that I think people struggle to realize that Robert Saleh had a bigger impact on this defense than I think most people believe. The Jet fans look at Robert Saleh's record of 20-36. However, he officially closed out his stint in New York, but then don't realize the fact after he got fired right away, the defensive production dipped significantly. Sure, Aaron Glenn's a defensive-minded head coach, but when you look at the core foundational pieces of this defense, who got paid, Jamie Sherwood as the team's starting linebacker, Michael Carter II as the starting nickel corner. These are pieces who were built and developed under Saleh. That's the thing I think fans struggle to realize. Robert Saleh, maybe he wasn't a great head coach, but he had a bigger impact on this defense than most fans want to admit.
So it's funny you say that.
Oh, go ahead.
So when I look at the New York Jets, I think that they're going to be following the exact same trajectory as most first-year head coaches. What they do is that they just inherit the personnel that they get for year one. But then year two is when they start taking out the axe and they make a lot of people walk away, where they start to bring in guys that can run their system.
It's a valuation. It's a valuation year. That's what it is.
That's exactly where I think Aaron Glenn, or what Aaron Glenn is doing. I don't think that he has, I'd say, anywhere closer to like 50% of what he's truly looking for. He probably has an ideal personnel set that he needs to run what he truly believes is the New York Jets. So I wouldn't be poo-pooing on Aaron Glenn just yet. I did think that firing Robert Saleh at like week 5 of last year was a mistake.
2-3.
Yeah, I thought that you guys probably should have rode out with him throughout the season. Maybe that's a Woody Johnson type thing. I think some people are kind of getting annoyed with Aaron Glenn's like attitude toward the media. I think at first people liked it because they're like, oh yeah, like he's fighting back, but now he really doesn't have like a leg to stand on, like while he is doing all of this. But
yes,
I'm interested to see how the rest of the season goes for New York. They have a matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, who is also a team that is very hot and cold, and depending on the Sunday. But yeah, I don't know. Cold.
Well, I do want to say this though. On Aaron Glenn, I give Aaron Glenn a pass on about 90% of everything, right? But that remaining percent, he can't get a pass on the discipline of the team. He can't get a pass of not having these guys ready to not, create these penalties, like the lack of discipline. That's all on him, and he has to make sure that he fixes that. Again, I know it's not his personnel, but that has nothing to do with a disciplined team. The Jets' lack of discipline, I think they could be 2-2 right now if they just had discipline.
Certainly. And it's not even like the pass interference calls that happen, 5 yards downfield. It's the illegal shifts. It's the false starts, it's the pre-snap penalties that you just need to eliminate. And that's, again, the difference between wins and losses. I will throw this in here quickly, however, TD. I take a look at the numbers. Sauce was only targeted twice. He did allow both of his receptions, but they were for a total of 11 yards, TD.
Touchdown. Touchdown. Don't leave touchdown out. Don't leave touchdown out.
It was a touchdown, sure, but it was on Darren Waller, who was about 6'5"
against the all-pro quarter.
There were 3 guys there. Sauce was retreating into the play. Okay, 2 catches for 11 yards, one of which was a touchdown. Don't act like this all-pro stud got burned for 150 yards on 10 targets and was getting picked apart play in and play out.
I mean, listen, here's what you got to understand, Connor. We ran the ball so well that we didn't have to throw it as much, number one. Number two, when we did throw it, we spread it around and said, hey, man, we're not discriminating. We're not trying to keep it away from Sauce because he's an all-pro corner. No, Waller, go handle our lightweight. You know what? Over the middle again. Holding call. Like, come on, man. We weren't fearing Sauce is the point. But every time we did throw it his way, he failed. That's all that matters. He failed.
11 yards.
2-3 times he in a touchdown. Make sure you add that, Connor.
Yeah, I'll add the touchdown, no problem. But I mean, let's not act like Darren Waller is a jag. Like, I wrote an article early in the week detailing on how Darren Waller is still a very good football player, and he was going to be a problem for the Jets.
I'm sorry. Darren Waller is a jag unless he playing against Sauce Gardner.
I disagree. Sure, he didn't have a great 2023 season with the Giants, but he still has it. We saw it. He still has that burst. He still has the athleticism. He still has the contested catch ability of a tight end in this league.
He elite when he plays Sauce Gardner. That's all I'm saying.
No, not at all. One play, he allowed a touchdown. I'm not sweating over it. Still my $120 million quarter.
And Colby, so do you have any comments on the Jets or the Miami Dolphins before we transition over to Week 5 previews?
You know, Dan, they say that a photo is worth 1,000 words. Do you believe that?
Yes.
You do? Well,
yeah.
Okay, I want to show you something then.
And the video is worth $1 million.
Oh, shoot, man. I should have pulled up a video then. But this is my initial reaction, okay? This is my initial reaction to the Jets falling 0-4 on the season. But hey, look, man. Hey, man, look. All jokes aside. Yes, the Jets are in the basement, and I did pick the Miami Dolphins to win this game. Tyreek goes down, and that is arguably the best player on your team. I know that there's issues. He doesn't feel like the same player exactly. It's more so mentally. It's more of the issues off the field. I get that, but that is still the best player on your team. That guy can be a difference maker. He's gotten it going over the last couple of weeks, especially in this game, like TD, like Connor alluded to. When he goes down, it feels like that is a big momentum changer to where, you know, the Dolphins are killing the Jets in this game. And I'm like, okay, Tyreek just went down. I don't know if the Dolphins are going to win this game. This is a moment where all the momentum can now be switched to the Jets. And what happened? The Jets never took over. And this was your opportunity to do so. I'm just looking at the Jets and I'm saying this team can't beat good teams, but this team also can't beat bad teams that realistically they should be beating up on. And I know that, you know, Aaron Glenn is a first-year head coach. We're only heading into Week 5, and I want to make this clear as day that there is time for him to turn this around. I am not saying he's a bust. I'm not saying move on after 1 year. I'm not saying that anybody should be calling him a bust. But yes, I do think that if you're a Jets fan heading into Week 5, there is a reason to worry. I believe that a successful season for the Jets, and I said this before the start of the season, does not come down to your wins and losses, but it comes down to where are you Week 1 compared to Week 18, and are you showing substantial enough improvement that makes you feel confident heading into 2026, because that's the year that you have to start competing. And I'm sorry, but I also don't agree with this narrative that year 1 of Aaron Glenn and he's not supposed to have a roster that fits him. Is it going to be perfect? No. Mike Vrabel got one of the worst rosters in the entire National Football League. They turned over 50% of their roster this offseason. Is it perfect? No. But they're trying to tailor that team completely around what the offense wants to do, what the defense wants to do, and what the special teams wants to do. You don't sit back for an entire year and say, well, I'm just going to take the roster I have and not do anything with it. The Jets had enough assets to actually do something with it. And I'm just looking at Aaron Glenn, and what he was supposed to be as a head coach was a guy that was going to be disciplined football, that was going to give this team their identity straight off the bat. You can see they're building upon something. I just don't see that with this Jets team, because the Miami Dolphins, yes, they've had this established culture, but it's dwindling down. That is a fragile team that has no direction. And that's an opportunity the Jets should have taken to win this game, but they didn't. Why? Because I'm sorry, but the Jets don't have an identity. The Jets don't know where they're going. There is not this inflicted idea on what this team is built around with Aaron Glenn. The players aren't gravitating towards anything. They're not building upon anything. They're not playing together. In fact, since 2023, the Jets in the NFL have a major issues with penalties, and they are 12-26 throughout that span since 2023. Aaron Glenn is not fixing the major problem for the Jets so far, which is the penalties. You lead the league. I want to preference that. You lead the league since 2023 in penalties with 293. The team in second place is the Tennessee Titans with 277. I'm sorry, but Aaron Glenn, given the type of head coach he is, should be having players taking accountability, and they're not doing so. Sauce Gardner, after this game, comes out with the most wild quote that I have ever seen a player come out with, essentially saying that the refs are calling more penalties on him because the Jets are not winning games. Him saying, and I quote, "I watch football and I just feel like, and I don't know if this is wrong to say, but I think I get called for more stuff just based off of us not winning games." The most wild quote. He's not taking responsibility. It was an issue for the last couple of seasons. It's an issue here now, and he's not even taking responsibility for it. I'm sorry, but there is a problem for the Jets, and they need to figure it out because this was a game you were supposed to win. And guess what? I do think the Jets will win some games down the stretch, but it's hard to look at any of these games for the rest of your season and say, yeah, that's a game I can confidently see the Jets winning.
Well, I'll add this quickly, Colby, regarding the penalties. I actually have this pulled up. It's not so much just the sheer volume of penalties for me. It's the pre-snap penalties. Teams are able to get away with committing penalties and still winning football games and being a productive team, but it's the pre-snap penalties you need to eliminate. Over the past 5 years, not counting, obviously, the start of this season, the Baltimore Ravens have the 8th most penalties in the National Football League. The Buffalo Bills have the 7th most penalties over the past 5 seasons entering this year. The Philadelphia Eagles have the 12th. All teams that are constantly in Super Bowl contention each year, the Philadelphia Eagles coming away with a Super Bowl title just last year. And so I agree with cutting down on penalties, but it's more so the avoidable ones for me. It's the pre-snap penalties that you can clean up compared to, a holding call here and there, a little PI push. So that's where the biggest difference is for me. And I just think you need to get the PI penalty. You need to get, the pre-snap penalties out of the way. And look, sure, the Jets haven't won a game, and I know Jet fans hate the moral victory stuff and they just want to see results. I get it. This team hasn't made the playoffs going on now 15 seasons. You just want to see wins. You just want to see results. But the context matters. Aaron Glenn, like TD mentioned, is in the first year of a cultural revival, of a cultural reset, a cultural rebuild. And look, the Jets are a Xavier Gibson fumble, a Tyrod Taylor pick six before halftime, and a Garrett Wilson, what should have been no PI call, away from being a 3-1 team.
Stop, Connor. I said 2-2, but don't be 3-1, and you still wouldn't beat us.
Sure. You want to take away Tampa Bay? Absolutely. Say you beat Pittsburgh week 1. You're 2-2 entering week 5 against the Dallas Cowboys team. That is completely different. You want to call it 3-1, 2-2? That's up for discussion. But the bottom line is, then the Jets are entering week 5 at home against the Dallas Cowboys team. And that matchup is looking a lot more winnable. I think that's the biggest difference.
But, and Connor, what I will say is I do agree with you on your penalty take, because at the end of the day, the New England Patriots right now this season, heading into week 5, are one of the most penalized teams, but yet Drake May and the Patriots offense is the best at converting on 3rd and 4th down, because they're a good enough team to be able to convert on those issues and make up for those penalties, but the Jets aren't. And at the end of the day, a good coaching staff will make a bad roster look good, but a bad coaching staff will make a good roster look bad. And the Jets roster, we talked about this during the offseason, one of the better rosters in the NFL, one of the better rosters in the AFC East, but yet you're 0-4. And it does come down to coaching at the end of the day. And Connor, just real quick, I want to get your thoughts on Sauce Gardner essentially pushing that blame off onto the refs, saying that because they're a terrible team, he's getting more calls because of that, which is just a stupid thing to say.
Yeah, there's a reason he's not a defensive captain. I love Sauce Gardner. I think he's one of the best players in this football league. He's one of my favorite plays, probably my favorite player on the Jets. There's no need for that. It's those comments that make fans of other teams, especially division rivals like yourself, Colby, being a Patriots fan, and just puts even more focus on the Jets. Oh, same old Jets, no accountability, no this, no that. Just shut up. Take accountability. That's the biggest thing. That's just that's just what this fan base wants to hear. That's what they want at the end of the day. They want accountability. And Aaron Glenn saying, I got to look at the film to 4 straight questions after a blowout week 2 loss to the Buffalo Bills isn't going to cut it. And Sauce Gardner blaming the refs and the Jets being a poor football team isn't going to cut it. Look, when you talk about Sauce Gardner, the football player, he's very, very talented. But it's things like that. It's the off-field stuff. It's the flashiness. It's the social media headlines on Instagram and Twitter that ultimately contribute to the fact that he's not a defensive captain. And frankly, he's not a significant leader on this football team. So he's one hell of a player, but those answers and the off-field antics aren't going to cut it for a guy making $120 million.
I certainly agree.
Damn. Well, ladies and gents, and Jets, Dolphins, and the Jets fall to 0-4. The Miami Dolphins 1-3, losing a pretty integral piece of their offense. Now we shift over to week 5, where both the Dolphins and the New York Jets are facing some interesting opponents. I kind of want to start off with the Miami Dolphins game, where they are going into Carolina, the struggling Carolina Panthers. I'll be completely honest with you. Outside of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I do not know who is a good team in the NFC South. I do not know. I have no idea who is good in that division.
Saints?
No idea. You have a Panthers team that goes out there and skunks an Atlanta Falcons team 30-0, but then goes into New England and gets belt to ass. Now they are welcoming the Miami Dolphins. TD, thoughts on this game, preview, prediction. How can Miami come out on top with a win? And then we'll go around and give our predictions. It's Murphy's Law with the Jets. Here for Bob. Tony?
Oh, Lord. Man, stop abusing Bob, Dan.
Hey, it's Tony, man. He wants it. No? Go ahead.
Listen, I think this game is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a thriller coming down to the end. And I got to be honest with you. I'm not guaranteed that the Dolphins are going to win this game. I'm going to pick us to win this game because I think that off the strength of Tyreek being out, we're going to do some new things and, switch up a little bit slightly what we do and spread the ball around and try to get them off balance. The defense just has to play better, though. You can't let a Bryce Young come in and do his thing and trying to get off on us, because if he do, we're cooked. It's over. But this team has talent. They have a roster. They can compete with the best of them. It's just a matter of, can they finish? Can they close? And the truth is, a lot of times they really get hot in the fourth quarter. They may struggle all game, but get hot in the fourth quarter. But yeah, so I got the Dolphins running the ball well on the Panthers, and A-Chain going off, Waddle having a big day, and they're going to continue to open up, Waller, and make sure that he's going to be a primary target, just like Jonnu was last year. So that's what I expect in this game. But we still need some help with the pass rush. If we can't get a good pass rush, everybody's going to be in the game with us. Like, you would have thought we beat the Jets 40-10, but no, because one thing I'll tell you, the pass rush in the run,
one quarterback hit, not a singular quarterback.
Wild. It's that bad. It's that bad with the personnel we have. It's that bad. So, and the Panthers love to load that line too. They don't typically spread it out too much. They love to have the protection. So it's going to be an interesting one. I can't even guarantee a win in this one. But I'm going to pick us to win, but this is a scary one for me because 1-4, that'll be a tough one, especially because you're playing the Panthers and then got to deal with the Chargers. So this is actually a must win. You want momentum going into that Chargers game. You can't afford to go 1-4 playing the Chargers.
I really don't think that this is an easy game to pick.
Yeah.
And so I'd agree with you, right? You're not going to be experiencing a lot of pass rush from the Carolina Panthers. They are dead last in the league for sack percentage, especially when you look at how quick Tua gets rid of the football. I could see a game of 0 QB hits, no pressures whatsoever. Secondary is the better unit, especially compared to their inability to stop the run. They're allowing about 4.9 yards per carry. So I'm interested to see what they do without Tyreek Hill. And you said something interesting on 4th and Forever, where you said that they are going to be reverting to the Brian Flores days. I think that Waddle obviously will likely be covered by Horn, right? Some of their better DBs out there. So maybe they have an answer for him. I think that it needs to be a ground and pound type strategy.
Yeah.
As far as the Panthers offense is concerned, I mean, look, this team right now is top 10 in the league for pass attempts, but they are toward the bottom of the league for all of the successful statistics. Not very good. Very inconsistent.
How is their run game?
Run game is not
People Hubbard and Rico
ideal.
Dowdle. They used Rico Dowdle more last week against the Patriots.
Yep.
Yeah, they're putting up 100.3 yards on the ground. That's good enough for 26th in the NFL. Tet's been looking good though, right? Like he's going to be getting a lot of targets. I think that if Bryce Young has any opportunity, I think that like with y'all's lack of pass rush, I don't know if this is going to be a Bryce Young Atlanta Falcons type game. That's what it smells like to me. Is that with all of the negative press surrounding this young man, all Carolina being like, oh, it's Bryce Young, he's terrible. I think this is the perfect matchup for Bryce Young to actually go out there and look good. Look like the Atlanta Falcons, Bryce Young. I think this game is going to be close. I really do. Too close for comfort. I've picked the Miami Dolphins before. I've been burned by picking the Miami Dolphins in the past. But I'm going to pick the Miami Dolphins to win this game. I'm going to pick the Miami Dolphins to win this one in a close matchup. I'm completely at a loss. I think final score is going to be relatively low scoring. I think the impact of no Tyreek Hill is going to be an issue. I think that Miami is going to chew up a lot of clock with the run game. 21-17 Miami.
21-17. All right. We're coming for the division. Let's go.
Interesting.
Colby, go ahead.
And so, I've been back and forth with this one. And for a hot minute here, I was going to take the Carolina Panthers. But I'm thinking about it, and I'm saying, look, Tyreek Hill is out of this game. The Panthers do have, actually, believe it or not, a top 10 secondary in the NFL. But without having Tyreek, how are the Dolphins going to want to win? Yes, they're still going to pass the ball, but I think they're going to want to dominate on the ground, sustain long drives, dominate time of possession, and the Carolina Panthers are one of the worst teams in the league at defending the run. So I think that recipe is actually perfect against the Carolina Panthers. And I know that everybody kind of wants to talk about Bryce Young and what he did against the Panthers against the Falcons a couple of weeks ago. One thing is true about Bryce Young, and that's the fact that he owns the Falcons. He's 4-1 against the Atlanta Falcons. He sucks against the rest of the league. So it's hard for me to even take too much away from that game when I know that you can dominate the Falcons, because that's really the only thing that Bryce Young has proved throughout his NFL career. He struggles against every other NFL team. So I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins in this game. I think it is going to be close. I do think that Tet is going to have a monster game against that poor secondary that the Dolphins have. Like, if you let Bryce Young stay in that pocket, like, he will pick you apart with Tetterall McMillan. But I do think that the Carolina Panthers are also dealing with some key injuries that are going to prevent them from having some of that success. That defensive line had no pass rush last week against the Patriots. I mean, Will Campbell on the left side allowed a 0% pressure rate. And if there's one thing we know about Tua, whether it's with Tyreek or not, is that if you allow him to stay in the pocket with a clean pocket, he is going to pick you apart time after time after time. And I just think that is exactly what's going to happen in this game. So give me Miami.
Connor, what do you got?
It's an intriguing matchup for sure. By the way, TD, I didn't know until the Jets actually played the Dolphins and this player wasn't even playing. I did not know that Storm Duck was a real name that actually...
He hurt. He been hurt. He ain't even on the field.
Yeah, he was ruled out. I think it was like a hip injury last week. And I was looking at
Rasul Douglas and Jack Jones have been holding it down, actually. Better than we thought.
I'm sure better than Storm Duck. Absolutely. This is an easy pick for me. I think a lot of people think this game is going to be close. Sure, it could be competitive, but this is an easy choice for me. I'm rolling with the Miami Dolphins. I think this could be a 2-score game. Sure, you're going to be without Tyreek Hill. That's going to take a hit for you, especially going against a more robust Carolina Panthers secondary compared to the overall depth that Miami saw in the Jets secondary last week. But, I mean, Carolina's defense could not contain Drake May and the New England Patriots, and I'm a fan of Drake May. I've been big on Drake ever since he was really drafted out of University of North Carolina, and he's continuing to prove my point on who he is as a quarterback and continuing to take strides game in and game out. But, when you look at the weapons that Miami has on offense with Jalen Waddle now stepping into that wide receiver 1 role with the pure speed of Devon Achane out of the backfield. We even saw Ollie Gordon get in there against the Jets. He has that burst. He has that physicality to do damage. I don't know if it's going to be, a 42-point performance that Carolina allows Miami to put up, but I am going to take Miami. I'll say, give me the Dolphins 30-20. So I have a lot of confidence in this Miami offense to follow up their performance against the Jets with a stellar showing against a Carolina Panthers defense that has not really been able to contain their opponents, obviously with the exception of the Atlanta Falcons in week 3.
So it's clean sweep, man. We have Miami. It's 4-0 on the panel. I mean, maybe that cursed them, right? Like that's typically
no. We
there we go.
Work around when the
we back in the fight for the division.
Oh, see, this is what that was beyond me having to come on here.
I think that's half of the reason why I never picked the Dolphins, because as soon as when I do, you have TD being like, "Oh, we're still in the mix. We're still in the mix, man. We're coming. We're coming."
Guys,
1 of 4, TD.
Greatest story ever told.
Let's go ahead and bring in a Patreon caller, folks. If you ever want to be a Patreon caller, certainly go on ahead and take a look in the description. You have the ability of calling into all Roundtable sports shows, Fourth and Forever, this show, all divisionals. Flix is our first caller. What's on your mind, brother?
What's up, Flix?
Yo, what's up?
What's up, bro?
The Panthers. We better know if we lose to the Panthers, we not gonna lie. If we lose to the Panthers, I mean the Jets, right? I mean we're gonna be the Jets. I was really shocked about that. If we lose to the Panthers, we'll get demolished by the Falcons. We gotta do something about this team. Because there's no way there's no way we lose it to the Panthers and we still keep, some of our players. We gotta trade somebody. That's fault. Because we gotta start getting picks for the future. We gotta start doing stuff now. I don't know why we're not doing anything now. That's what I don't like about this, staff. We're not doing anything now. We're gonna wait till after probably next season or next 2 seasons. Then we're gonna start doing stuff. We're just slowing down the process. What I'm trying to say is, why can't we speed the process up and get to the better days quicker?
Well, I'll say this, Flix. The reason why is because you got a GM and a coach that's fighting for their job, so they have to be. It's almost like you have to be given the opportunity to try to make the best of your situation. But they're on the last strings. If they lose to the Panthers, it's going to be the biggest danger zone. They're not going to do anything yet, but if they lose to the Chargers the week after, those 2 losses in a row might spark the official move.
I thought if they lost to the Jets, the move would happen, just being the Jets and
but they didn't, entering the game. And being that they didn't, if they lose to the Panthers and then the Chargers, it'll spark something. Something will happen.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Flix, we appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. It is desperation mode over there for Flix. He needs them to beat the Carolina Panthers. I mean, hopefully y'all don't pull another Indianapolis Colts situation. You know what I mean? That's week 1. Except for don't sleep on Indiana Jones. All right. Don't you dare sleep on Indiana Jones. Now. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, folks, smash that like button for us. It's the easiest way to show love over here. 387 of you on YouTube right now. There has to be 387 like buttons hit. No questions asked, folks. Let's propel this out to the YouTube algorithm. So more AFC East fans can discover the show and be a part of our family. All right. We welcome them with open arms. The Jets welcoming the Cowboys into town.
Yep.
Jerry Jones. Haven't heard if CeeDee Lamb is good to go. He was out last week with a sprained ankle. I haven't heard if it was a high ankle sprain. I don't believe that it is. I think it's still questionable if he is able to play. But Connor, talk to us. Your preview, your prediction. Can the Jets get their first dub against Dak Prescott and the Cavalry?
Certainly. It's an intriguing matchup because the Jets come back home where they made their closest fight in week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 0-2, obviously, their first 2 home games of the year, the second of which was a drubbing win, Dan, by your Buffalo Bills. Now the Jets come home to face what I think is a rather intriguing Cowboys team because they're 1-2-1. First tie, obviously, since 2022, coming on Sunday night with the Green Bay Packers. The biggest thing that stuck out to me, though, from that performance, despite the Cowboys only having 1 true win this season, is the fact that they scored 40 points against I think a strong Packers defense, especially with the addition of a familiar friend for Cowboys fans, Micah Parsons. So now you look at that, you keep that in mind, a Jets team that allowed the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa to nearly hang 30 points. And there's no reason for me to be optimistic about this defense. Steve Wilks, Aaron Glenn, they haven't shown me anything when it comes to improvement week in and week out from this defense, evolving into new concepts. They've run so much cover one. They've run so much man coverage. They're so stubborn on press, play in and play out. They haven't looked to turn off of it. I mean, there's no reason I have confidence to pick the Jets to win this football game. Sure, could Justin Fields have another strong performance where he has over 220 passing yards and makes a highlight reel play, which just showcases his talent like we saw in the 43-yard rushing touchdown against the Dolphins? Sure, that could happen. Sure, could it be a close fight? Absolutely. But when you talk about closing games and coming out on top and being the better team, the Jets haven't shown me anything to be able to pick them. Our good friend Jake Asman, who I was talking to the other day, in his survivor pool, he's so pessimistic on the Jets. Ever since week 1 until now, he's picked the Jets' opponent as his survivor pool pick, and he's riding
not a bad strategy.
The Cowboys. He's gonna live on as long as the Jets' winless streak, the winless skid goes. So,
bro, he gonna win the survivor pool.
Oh my God. I mean, look, this is a winnable game for the Jets compared to week 6 against the Broncos in London. When you compare it to the other games on the schedule, before the schedule really lightens up against Carolina, against even a competitive team like the Cleveland Browns, I think this is one of the Jets' more winnable games over the next 5 or 6 games. I don't have them winning because the Jets haven't shown me anything that convinces me that they're going to be able to beat a team like the Dallas Cowboys. So I hope I'm wrong. I pray to the football gods that I am wrong, but I have the Jets losing to Dallas.
The Jets are losing to Dallas. It's per Connor. Damn. TD, thoughts on this? Can the Jets pull off a miracle and take care of the Dallas Cowboys in MetLife?
No, they can't.
Of course not. The Jets could be 21 point favorites in this game. TD would say they're going to lose.
That's true.
Connor, we just played the Jets. Everybody just saw what y'all did on national television.
I didn't pick them.
I know, but I'm shocked you even say this is a winnable game.
I'm saying it's one of the more winnable games compared to this team is going to get blown out in London by the Broncos.
Bro, y'all going to get blown out. Connor, y'all going to get blown out this week. The Cowboys finna beat y'all by 25 points.
No, come on.
No, I am coming on. Connor, the Cowboys know how to score at least. I mean, man, Connor, they putting up 45 in this one. I'm telling you.
I don't know about 4. They could certainly hang 30. I mean, I thought the Dolphins were.
Yeah.
I mean,
look, they putting up 45 in this, Connor. I'm telling you now. I'd love
to stand up here and defend the Jets like we did all offseason long, TD.
Yeah,
I can't defend them. I can't.
Bro, I'm not even trying to hate because I don't like the Jets. I'm dead serious. Y'all in trouble this week. Y'all, man, if you're in a survivor pool, this is your lock.
I picked the Jets in week 1. I'm already out of mine.
Oh, but yeah, man, I ain't even got much to say, Connor. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Y'all finna lose this game. Dallas and Dak and those guys, they're going to bring out an impressive win after that half win they just got versus Green Bay. Yeah, man, they are a better team, and they got the quarterback that's going to lead the way. That defense makes plays here and there, but I think that defense is a little bit more solid than people give them credit for. They just want to rag on it because Michael Parsons is gone. But the Jets, I can't point to anything to say, well, the Jets might be able to do this. The Jets might be able to do that. The Jets got this or that. You ain't proved nothing all year. Cowboys win this game. I'm going to give my official score 38-13.
Oh, my God.
38-13
and
come on, Aaron Glenn, show up.
I'm actually not trying to be a hater or troll Jets fans either. I'm telling y'all, this is gonna be bad.
An absolute shellacking is what TD is predicting for the New York Jets. Colby, what do you got, man? Can the Jets get their first win this season?
I'm gonna go with no. I need to see the Jets actually push to do something before I pick them to win a game. Congratulations. You kept it close against Miami Dolphins. They're one of the worst teams in the league. They're a team you should have taken advantage of. You didn't do it. I can't pick you to win a game under a new regime that hasn't proven anything. I think there's some dysfunction. I think there's some question marks, off the field in that locker room. I look at the Dallas Cowboys. They're not a great team, but Dak Prescott is playing good football. He's leading the NFL in passing yards right now. I think that they can just ultimately end up doing more than the Jets are going to be able to do. And I don't love that coaching staff for the Cowboys, but right now I'm going to take that Cowboys coaching staff over the Jets. So give me the Cowboys.
Give you the Dallas Cowboys. I'm interested to see. So according to my fantasy app, CeeDee Lamb is still out.
Yep.
I think George Pickens probably should have something to say. I think that's it. Their run game is still less than ideal over in Dallas. Surprisingly enough, I think that their run defense has improved since Michael Parsons is no longer on the squad.
Ferguson got to go off.
I thought that it was a pretty lateral move. I think that was suggested when both of those teams finished in a tie just last week. I'm going to have to go with the Dallas Cowboys as well, Connor. Sincerest apologies here. I think that I feel like that this is the game that the Dallas Cowboys win, right? I feel like that they do typically take care of the teams that on paper they should take care of. I think Dak Prescott has actually been looking pretty good this year, all things considered. I think that there's a lot of things wrong with the Cowboys, but I wouldn't put Dak in the top 3 as into why. Sometimes I think that there can be such thing as negative momentum, and I think the Jets have hit that. I'm hoping that when their schedule lightens up a little bit and they have more favorable opponents, that they will be able to give you some sort of joy, at least to build up hype for 2026. But unfortunately, I have the Dallas Cowboys winning this game. Maybe not as bad as TD predicted, but 28 to 20. No.
All right.
Say 28 to 20.
Perfect.
I think that Fields has an opportunity of hurting them with his legs.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that he has some opportunities to make some stuff. And Fields didn't look all that bad with the Jets last week either.
No, not at all. And that huge rushing touchdown that we saw, a strong passing performance. And when you talk about the schedule lightening up, that was the biggest thing that we spoke about as Jet fans opening the year. You have one of the hardest 3-game stretches to open the year, facing off against obviously Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay, all 3 playoff teams just a year ago, 2 of which that won their division, that being Buffalo and Tampa Bay. And we all spoke about the schedule lining up, the fact that the Jets could win games down the stretch. It's like at this point, unless the Jets pull off an upset against Dallas and they really turn a corner and you see the offense firing on all cylinders, you see a week 1-esque offensive performance and the defense allows under 25 points for the first time this year, then maybe you got me bought in. But when you look at the back end of the schedule, there is no game that I point to and I could just confidently say, like Colby mentioned earlier on in the show, that this is a win for the Jets. I look at the Cleveland Browns and I'm like, this team could beat the Jets by 2 scores. I look at a team like the New Orleans Saints after what they did against your team last week, Dan, and pushing it within 2 scores and saying Spencer Rattler could score 35 points against this defense. It's just there are no games that I can confidently point to, and especially when you look at the fact you're 0-2 in your division right now as well, and the defensive games, the in-division games, don't get any easier. I had the Jets on my initial schedule predictions starting 2-6 and finishing 8-9. That's how confident I was in this team being able to string together wins down the stretch. And that included the Jets getting swept by both the Bills and the Dolphins. Both the Bills, and the Patriots. It included the Jets sweeping the Dolphins. Obviously, that can't come to fruition anymore, as unfortunate as that is. But still, as we stand, there is no game I can point to on the schedule and be like, mark it, easy win. Even week 18 against your Buffalo Bills, Dan. I know how much the Bills fans and the Bills hate the Jets. It's the last game in that building. They could be fighting for first place in the AFC. There is no game I can point to and confidently say, boom, Jets win right there.
Yeah. Well, hell, man. Hell, you know what, dude? I wish you nothing but happiness in your future. All right, man. I hope that eventually
outside of football,
y'all can be competitive outside of football, of course. But yeah, man, tough sledding. The game of the week, the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. The Bills are donning They're Nike Rivalries jerseys. I have
Woo!
mine hanging up in my closet. I'm about ready to don it.
Come on, Dan. You're not wearing it?
No. I can't do it, right? I'm really taking this strategy and waiting to put it on for the game. I'm very meticulous when it comes into my game day routine. I'm very excited so far. Like we've been seeing some practice, like we're getting some players back that were coming off of injury. I did a full in-depth analysis and preview of this matchup this morning, where I was able to identify some keys in which that I think Buffalo can leverage to win this game. But first, I'm excited to hear Colby's preview, prediction, how the Patriots can come into Buffalo and take down the Buffalo Bills.
One thing I will say is that the New England Patriots, statistically speaking, are actually better on the road than they are at home, which really does suck to say. Like, I kind of wish we were better at home, but that's one thing I'll hang my hat on, is we are more competitive. We love being underdogs on the road. And the Patriots always give the Buffalo Bills what I believe is the hardest matchup out of all teams in the AFC East. I don't care what the circumstances are. We find ways to either beat you or keep it close. You want to look at last year, Patriots able to get that Week 18 win against you. But even a couple weeks prior to that game, Patriots had a 14-point lead with Drake May in at quarterback. That's despite Gerard Mayo being the head coach and Alex Van Pelt being the offensive coordinator and DeMarcus Covington being the DC. Patriots had a 14-point lead in that game. That game ultimately came down to a field goal. So even if you want to take that Week 18 win away from them, Patriots still played close in that game prior to this, earlier on in that season. And you had Sean McDermott come out and say, I hope somebody trades for Drake May because that is not a guy that I want to play against in this division. So even the Buffalo Bills understand that the Patriots have something special there at quarterback. But the Patriots even beat the Buffalo Bills in 2023. They beat them in 2021. And so while I'm not saying the Patriots are going to win this game, I do think it's going to be more competitive than people are thinking. While the Buffalo Bills are undefeated, they have played close games. I mean, you guys played a much closer game against the Saints than everybody projected when you actually look at that game and take away that garbage time score that you got. You guys played a close game against the Miami Dolphins a couple of weeks ago, and a win is a win, and a loss is a loss. I'm not trying to take anything away from Buffalo, but what I'm saying is that there is certainly a path for the New England Patriots to be able to get this win. I mean, you even had Mike Vrabel after their blowout win against the Carolina Panthers saying, guys, everybody's going to be watching you. Week 5, primetime Sunday Night Football. And he said, and I quote, and I'm kind of excited that they are. And so I think the Patriots have something a little bit up their sleeves. Buffalo Bills are getting healthier, but so are the Patriots. They're expected to get back starting linebacker Jelani Tavai in this game, which will help address some of those tackling issues that they have. Drake May and Josh Allen are also playing extremely similar football. And we talked about this last week, Dan. Obviously, Josh Allen, I'm going to give the nod to, but we can't say that Josh Allen is playing arguably the best football in the NFL, but then try to say that Drake May is not even a top 10 quarterback in the NFL means, statistically speaking, average depth of target, Drake May 7.2, Josh Allen 7.7, completion percentage, Drake May 74, Josh Allen 70.3, yards per attempt, Drake May 8, Josh Allen 8, conversions 57 for Drake May, 53 for Josh Allen, touchdown to interception ratio 7-2 for Drake May, 7-1 for Josh Allen, passer rating 109.4 for Drake May, 109.7 for Josh Allen. One thing that's going to be pivotal for the Buffalo Bills to get this win is to somehow stop Drake May and the Pats on 3rd and 4th down. They have only not converted on, I believe it's 1 4th down this season. They have gotten more and more aggressive as each week goes on converting on 4th down when it is 4th and manageable or 4th and short. In fact, Drake May is the best quarterback in the NFL, backed up by stats on converting on 3rd and 4th down. So I think that's where the Patriots can win in this game. But ultimately, what I think this comes down to is I'm just not sure if the Patriots are poised to win a game like this just yet. A game against one of the best quarterbacks in the league, against one of the best teams in the league, against a team that is undefeated. While the Patriots are getting hotter, you see what they are building and trending towards. At the end of the day, what's up, Rich? What's up, fellas? At the end of the day, we're talking about the Buffalo Bills and New England Patriots. At the end of the day, I think that this is
Buffalo Bills. You talking about the Buffalo Bills?
Oh yeah, buddy. We're talking about the Buffalo Bills. I do still think that there is a long way to go for the New England Patriots to build up and be able to win a game like this. So, while I think it is going to be a close game, I think that this is a game the Patriots certainly can win. I am going to give the nod to the Buffalo Bills in this game, and we'll see you guys at Gillette Stadium later on this season.
Damn, that is interesting. Let's talk to the cavalry down in Los Angeles. What's up, boys?
What's up, fellas? Sorry for
What up,
interrupting
boy?
your take there, Colby, but I felt like shout out to Connor for representing the Jets.
Sorry, bro.
Of course,
And,
Richie, you threw me into the fire against TD. I can't even defend this team.
I
Optimistic.
know, man. I'm sorry, bro.
He's got you in the
Look at the boys.
There's nobody I'd
Look at the
rather
boys.
represent the Jets than you, Connor. But
how's Los
TD's talking
Angeles?
trash, and now they have to say something. You said the NFC West is the worst division.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah. Hey, where? Hold on. Where Jesse at? Where Jesse?
Who's the
What's up? What?
Hey, Jesse. So Richie had y'all in the hood at first?
Oh, no, wait, listen.
No, I didn't, man. It was the wrong address.
Listen, it was nasty out here, man. I had my bulletproof vest on. I was ready to rock, but we found a spot. We're good.
Oh, man.
That's
Hey,
good.
I
We will
was-
not let
hey, I-
Richie.
good.
We will not let Richie. Like make accommodations anymore.
Why? It's a beautiful spot. It was
It's good.
the wrong
Hey, man, listen.
address.
We need the tour. We need the tour later. That's what we need.
It was not
Roundtable
beautiful.
Sports behind the
It
scenes.
wasn't my
It was-
fault. It's
hey,
a beautiful
it was
spot.
funny
It's the wrong
though.
address.
It was funny because I was reading y'all chat thread, and when Jesse sent the picture, I was like, "Oh man, Richie, how could you put him in a spot?" But then whenever you sent them the instructions, I say, "Wait, that's a different place than what the instructions have on it." Then I'm like, "Oh, they're at the wrong place." Okay, I was worried at first, man, but I'm glad y'all in the much
man.
better
I was
place.
at the airport picking up Zebot and Justin, and I'm like, oh God, did I mess this up? I'm like freaking out. And then Jesse says, no, man, this place is legit. I was like, thank you. Oh gosh, big stress went off my shoulders. But we don't
Y'all
want to
in the hood,
interrupt the
bro.
show too much. All right. You guys are talking some AFC East, but let them know it's good, Connor.
Let them know
Well,
it's
listen.
real quick, before we get out of here, you can talk all you want about the NFC West, but we are cooking you guys on the views. So remember that.
Damn, chat. Y'all gonna let them talk like that? Come on, chat. Come on, chat. It's AFC East now. It's all of us
You guys
against
do.
them.
You boost these guys' egos too much. All right, we're out of here. We're gonna enjoy the LA weather. And
Enjoy.
the AFC East Roundtable,
Hey,
boys.
appreciate you, Richie.
Hey, you know
Yeah.
what?
Have fun, guys.
I blame the chat's inability of hitting the like button consistently.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It's the NFC West has been dominating this show in views. It's because
Hey,
everyone
no-
hits the like button. They take
Ain't dominating,
0.3 seconds to get it done, for God's sakes.
That's
On
YouTube's
Monday-
algorithm now. You gotta
On
hit the
Monday,
like button
we
or
had-
it shuts
on
us out.
Monday, we had like 700-800 people in. They had like 650 on Tuesday. So no, I ain't.
Yeah. You're right, man. Listen, we still got it. We're the OG show at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
That's
All
a
right.
fact. Let's hear it, Dan. Let's hear it.
All right. Shout out to Richie. Shout out to the NFC West Roundtable. They are having their event tomorrow, Thursday Night
That's hints from
Football.
Justin, man.
I'm really excited to see the clips that Richie comes up with, especially if they're compared to what we were getting out of Buffalo a couple of weeks ago.
Well, hopefully there's Wi-Fi there. First off,
Oh, it's SoFi Stadium, dude. Like that's like a spaceship over there. I
They-
can
they
guarantee
better.
you It's the best Wi-Fi you could find. It's the best Wi-Fi I'm sure you could find nowadays. But all right, so the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. I like this Patriots team. I have a lot of respect for this team, and I have gone on record to say that I believe in 2026, when we're doing this preview portion leading up into the regular season, you're going to see me say, of course, depending that they have a good offseason and free agency and the draft, I think that's going to be the year where I'm going to say, all right, I think that the Patriots or the Bills, it could be either one of them for the AFC East. I think that they are a year away. I do. I still think that there are some things that they need to address on the offensive line side of things. I think they really need to pick up their run game. But when Drake May is taking that step that he needs to going into year two, he has been very, very impressive. So what I want to do is really just sort of point out some of the weaknesses I think that Buffalo is going to exploit, or at least attempt to exploit. This is a very good third down offense, like Colby suggested, right? You do have Drake May. His average depth of target is at around 7.2. And that's been a weakness of the Buffalo Bills, is stopping third down conversions. One thing I would like to see from this defense, because I still think that there are opportunities for our defensive line to win versus their offensive line. It's something that I'm not sure if Buffalo is going to implement. I've been pounding the table that they do eventually. I would very much like for Buffalo to run a lot of press man coverage against their said wide receivers. I would, especially situationally on third down, would absolutely love it. Why Buffalo typically ends up giving somebody an entire zip code from the line of scrimmage on third down situations is that they oftentimes do not trust our DBs in the speed department where they could get cooked and burned any which way. I would really love to mess around with the physicality of Christian Benford with Taron Johnson to at least mix in a little bit of that so we can give our defensive line a bit more time to get to Drake May. He's been sacked about 13 times. I would genuinely like that. One thing that's encouraging is that the New England Patriots have been struggling establishing the run. I think this is going to be a great test because we're either going to walk away from this game knowing that the Patriots really don't have a run game or the Buffalo Bills run defense is that bad. If the Buffalo Bills run defense, if we let Ramondre Stevenson go off for 100 plus or Trevion Henderson go off completely crazy.
Don't sleep on the boys, bro.
Then we end up getting an answer right there. But what I think is a benefit or an advantage to Buffalo is that since they can't really establish much of a run game, they don't really utilize play action all too often. Very limited drop back so far in play action. A lot of non-play action where you're already getting the answers to the test. So would very much like to go on ahead and be a bit ballsier by running press man coverage, especially on third down situations. Use that physicality. Even if we get a couple of penalties on the outside with like a holding here and there, test the referees if you need to. One thing that's encouraging as well, I do like a lot of the matchups from the defensive line. Get to Drake May. It's not going to be impossible. He's probably going to hurt us with his legs occasionally. Thank God Matt Milano is going to be back. When Matt Milano is back, our run defense and even against mobile quarterbacks significantly improves when that man is out on the field. Don't know about Ed Oliver yet. He was limited today. I was talking to my buddy who is it's thigh doctor. He typically likes to really overanalyze some of these injuries. He doesn't believe he's going to be ready, but it is what it is. Now it comes down into the Patriots defense. We are looking at one of the worst red zone defenses in the NFL. They are 31st ranked in the league for red zone scoring efficiency. I think as long as Buffalo continues to roll with the death by 1,000 paper cuts, specifically, I see a lot of advantages in coverage scheme, especially from their linebackers. While they're like your more traditional, like downhill quality against the run type guys, they have been lacking in coverage. I did hear that Colby said you are getting your one linebacker back. I am not really aware of his coverage capabilities, but that is something I think Buffalo is going to test. I really see a good game from Dalton Kincaid. I see a good one from Shakir, and no disrespect to the special teams player of the week of last week. However,
I locked down that ass.
With Marcus Jones, I think Khalil Shakir is going to do really well within the middle of the field. It's going to be a close one, dude. I think that Buffalo's defense is the type of defense that has really adopted their identity, where they have built their team with more finesse athletic players, particularly in the back seven. And we get hurt in the run defense side of things, but almost that's the poison that we selected because it allows this team to go on ahead and generate those turnovers that we have been living by for the past 24, 25 games. Punch that damn ball. And so Ramondre Stevenson is coming off of a game 2 games ago where he couldn't hold on to the football. Make sure that you generate these turnovers. I think it's going to be close, and surprisingly enough, but it's hard for me to select a loss for the Buffalo Bills at home where we haven't lost at home since 2023. Give me the Buffalo Bills 28-24. It's going to be close. It's going to be annoying for Bills fans, I would say, for about like the third quarter. Don't be surprised if we have a quarter where we completely lay an egg and we look almost inept. But we will figure it out. And I think we win yet another close game. And maybe the game out in Foxborough is an entire different conversation later in the season. But I am going with Buffalo on this one.
Yeah, Dan, one more thing I will say, too, is I do think that this is the biggest test that the Buffalo Bills will have. I think, you look at the Baltimore Ravens, and we thought that was going to be a better team. Good offense and certainly a lot more name power. But that defense is one of the worst in the league, and they're trying to put things together. Patriots defense had its issues, but they're getting better and better. Got Christian Gonzalez back last week. They're going to have him back again for this game on top of getting Jelani to buy back. One thing I will say, though, is if the Bills run a bunch of man, the Patriots will win this game because their offense is built around being able to beat man coverage, and Drake May's mobility in all statistical categories is the top 10 mobile quarterback. And that's why teams are playing zone, is to take away some of their weapons and also try to neutralize Drake May's legs as much as possible. So to be honest, I think this is one of those games where you just run a lot of zone blitzes and then you try to stop Drake May because of that. And then the other thing I would say too is, although this rushing attack certainly has not looked as good as we were hoping, what we've seen from this Patriots offense under Josh McDaniels, who said last week that they're just scrapping the surface on what they want to do offensively, is also the fact that, I'll be honest, I totally just lost my train of thought. But anyway, let's get into the next guy.
Yeah.
So, I just lost my train
my thing is that like we'll probably end up really focusing on our main identity of like split zone coverage for the most part. But I need to find an answer for third down, right? I'm not saying run predominantly man press coverage, but I'm saying if there's a 3rd and 8 situation, all we need, like this Buffalo Bills defensive line is getting pressure, but the main story that's been plaguing us for years is that we can't finish the damn job. What hasn't been working for us is literally lining our DBs 10 yards off of the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 8, and we're wondering why they're converting it each and every single time. So I would like to see that mixed in occasionally, and then hope that we can just win a couple of reps, right? I've said this a couple of times. I don't need the Buffalo Bills to be a top 5 third down defense in the NFL. All I need them to be is the 13th, 14th ranked in the NFL, and I think that a lot of our issues are solved. And that's how I think we can do it. But
and so, Dan, I do remember what I was going to say, by the way. Just my point being is that although they haven't been able to run the ball effectively, they had 3 running backs last week, 3 ball carries, average at least 4 yards per carry, but they were still passing the football. So I think this is a team that does want to run the ball well enough to make you respect what they can do on the ground, but run the ball effectively and efficiently enough to set up 3rd and short or 4th and short. And then they're setting up that play action more and more each week, which is why the offense is actually getting better each week because of that. So anyway.
Well, go ahead.
No, that's it.
It's still early. Like, so that's why, like, when I was looking at some of the secondary metrics from the Patriots, I was telling a lot of guys, I was like, guys, like, do not like really look at this seriously. Gonzo is back. While I don't see that this is going to pump you up into the top 5, like, oh my God, like this becomes a top 5 secondary. I do think that does call for a slight improvement with his presence out on the field. So, it's interesting, man. It's going to be a really good game. I think that it's going to be stressful, like the past 3 have been for us, but it's just something about this team in Buffalo, man.
15
Connor,
straight, man.
Hey, Connor, what do you got on this one, man?
Absolutely. It's a super interesting matchup. And as much as I hate to say it, I've been high, and Colby knows this, I've been optimistic on this New England Patriots team for about a year now. I predicted them to win 9 games this season, and look, early signs are certainly promising. You talk about the performance of quarterback Drake May through 4 games. They're 2-2. He's been managing the offense. Not too many costly turnovers, not too many costly miscues, keeping the offense on schedule, moving the chains, and just allowing this defense to be the backbone of this team. And that's what the Patriots roster, frankly, is predicated on. But I mean, when you talk about a team like the Buffalo Bills, as you mentioned it there, Dan, having not lost a home game in Orchard Park since 2023, it is so difficult, as much as I hate to do it, to, pick against such a great quarterback in Drake May, just given the storylines and the confines of what Buffalo has been able to do at home. Look, Buffalo, I think, is going to increase to 5-0 on the air. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, and I think it's going to be the perfect matchup to display under the primetime lights Sunday Night Football. I'll say, give me Buffalo 27-21. That's my final score prediction for this game. I think it's within 1 possession. I think it's going to be a super, super fun and exciting game to watch.
27-21 in the New Jerseys. TD, what do you got for us, man?
Y'all already know where I'm going with this. The Patriots going to win this game. I don't see what's funny, but okay.
I hope you're right.
Yeah. Well,
I wish TD did this.
So we did know where you were going with it. We did know where you were going.
I
appreciate the honesty.
I haven't had more conviction in a game in a long time like this. But you know what, Kobe? Let me tell you a few things, Kobe. The New England Patriots are the best team that the Bills will have played this whole season.
I agree.
Okay. And And I see what you're talking about, Colby, how y'all setting up the play action week after week. Last week, you had 3 running backs, if I'm not mistaken, almost had 10 carries. So it's not a case of your rotation where you put guys in and all of a sudden, oh, well, we know this is pass now. No, they'll run with any of those guys. They'll pass with any of those guys. So it's hard to read it based off of the personnel. And another thing, Kobe, y'all done put up over 30 points twice this season. And the one time where y'all lost and you didn't, let's be honest, it was an anomaly. 4 fumble losses in one game. Y'all ain't did that no other game this season. Nobody's going to sit there and bank on, oh, well, they turned the ball over. That was one game, and it happened 4 times. Y'all fumble in the same game. That's not an identity. That's a one-game outlier. And you turned the ball over, and that's what really killed you in that game. You didn't turn the ball over. You win that game. Like, no questions asked. So I'm gonna make this clear. The New England Patriots under Mike Vrabel is going to be the T that comes into this division and wreaks havoc. I truly do believe it. And the Bills are about to get actually punched in the mouth. Like, everybody's going to be shocked when this one is said and done, because the Bills are not special. They struggle technically, in my opinion, with almost, everyone except the Jets. And now we know why. Now we know why. They are the second worst team in the league behind the Saints. And they're going to do all that out in probably week 15 or something like that when they play. But yeah, I got the Patriots winning this game off the strength of Drake May showing that he's a better quarterback, the best one in his division so far right now. And I think he's gonna prove that. I'm telling you now, Dan.
TD, do you not remember last year when you predicted the Patriots win 2 games and called Drake May the worst quarterback in the division?
Yeah. But you know what,
Am I hallucinating or was that reality?
No, you're not hallucinating, Connor. But you know what? You can always prove TD wrong, and Drake May done proved me wrong. I think he might be the best quarterback in the division. And if Drake May beat the Buffalo Bills, oh, Dan, you might as well quit. You might as well quit. I don't want to see that smirk ever again on your face. It's over. I'm telling you, Kobe, you better have some confidence in this one. This is the one.
Dan, I'm telling you, you guys better watch out for Marcus Jones. Had Patriots franchise history last week with his 3 big-time returns. Should have had 2 to the house. You guys' special teams is ranked 25th, dealing with some punter issues. This could be another big Marcus Jones game, too, on the special team side of the football. And your defense is ranked 20th, so there's certainly places that Patriots offense under Josh McDaniels can take advantage of.
And let's be honest here. The Bills ain't special.
Surprisingly enough, so we're the number 1 ranked secondary in the NFL.
Oh my God!
Secondary. Hold on.
Hey, they the number 1 ranked secondary playing against the Jets, the Saints, and you know how we been bad.
And then Baltimore Ravens.
If you have the best secondary with the 20th defense, that D-line must be trash.
Best secondary.
That D-line must be trash, damn.
Best set. Well, hey, you know what, guys? Listen, I look forward to this matchup on Sunday. I'm being not nearly as aggressive as I have been, especially during the Miami Dolphins matchup. But no, I'm super confident. I think the Patriots are a very good team. I think they're still a year away from truly being a division contender. I think they will cause us some issues, but I mean, like I said, I really, really like what our offense can do against this defense. We put up 30 points for God knows how often, especially compared to last year. There's been like 14 games, out of the last 16 that we put up 30 plus. So I don't know. Can Drake go shot for shot? We will find out on Sunday.
We will find out.
Andy Johnson is in the building. Welcome to the Patreon hotline. How you doing, man?
What's up, Andy?
Take me later. I need a minute.
Oh, take another one, Dan.
Uh-oh.
All right, Andy. We'll talk to you later.
Leno, what up?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Usual, kicking back, enjoying the show. Then, TD got to open his mouth as usual, spitting blasphemy. One thing I realized about TD is he's good. He's the master clickbait. That's what he is. He's the master clickbait. He loves manipulating stories, creating stories.
He's good at it.
Lying, saying, hey, I don't hate on the Bills. He does it every week. If y'all want to be a betting man, listen to the opposite of what TD says. The man takes no accountability when he is wrong. So I'm going to call him fraudability because that's all he does, say fraudulent stuff.
Wow.
Kobe, you should be a little bit worried
I'm not
when
worried.
TD pick you. Like
He picked us last week,
like
and we blew up the
seriously.
Panthers.
I'm just seriously. TD, when he picks you, he's a kiss of death.
He
Wow,
picked us last
you're
week.
done for it.
picked us
So,
last
you know what I mean?
I'm
Picked us
not
last
gonna
week.
talk to y'all this week. Y'all know y'all fake coming. The Patriots, I'm telling you, they on the way. Y'all know. I think y'all nervous too.
TD did pick us last week against the Panthers, though.
man. Hey, you know what, Kobe? Y'all got a really good team, Kobe. Y'all have actually
We're
proven
building.
some stuff so far.
We're
But
building,
you know
bro.
what? I can't wait. I can't wait for this game. It's gonna be a good one. And it's Sunday night.
Sunday night,
Prime
early lights,
time.
baby. Prime time. Vrabel's
So I
ready.
don't think the curse is TD picking your team to win, but it's TD picking any team against the Buffalo Bills.
No, Patriots winning. Guaranteed.
No, I think it's when he guarantees a win. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Kobe.
Well, there you go.
You're cursing me here.
His only way of getting away from the curse is picking the Chiefs in the playoffs. But every other team where he says, I guarantee that the Bills are going to lose. Yeah, I don't know.
Especially
Anyway.
against the Bills.
Oh, my God. We have Izzy in the building. What up, Izzy?
What's up,
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man? How you
How
doing?
you doing, bro?
Not too bad, not too bad. Getting ready to play a little Madden and enjoy the weekend's game. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I think that the Patriots are, like I said at the beginning of the season, the second best team in this division. I think everybody except Jets and Dolphins fans agrees with that. And I think that this will be a tough one. I think the Drake May is going to put up some points, and so Josh Allen is going to have to put on that Josh Allen cape and put up some points as well. I don't think this is going to be as low scoring as most people think. I think it'll be more like 34-27 Buffalo Bills.
I like that.
Oh,
I can see that.
Drake is really good. Like he's really, really good. And so when you sit there and say like they're both these quarterbacks can light it up, and then the scores, 27-21. I was like, that doesn't sound like these two quarterbacks are out there to light it up. If they're going to go light it up, then it's going to be way more than 27-21.
I agree with that.
I don't remember whose score that was. I don't mean to diminish, but I just think that these offenses are going to go off. And technically speaking, when somebody goes out there and lights it up like Drake May is probably going to do, like I think, but 2-3 touchdowns, probably 300 yards from scrimmage for Drake May. Josh is going to have to turn it on his side, and he's just more efficient at it.
Ultimate gunslinger type of game. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's like the Baker Mayfield is getting to come out of these guys this weekend.
Interesting.
I like
Baker
that.
Mayfield.
That's a fun game to watch, whether you win or lose. So I'm for it.
Whether you
Baker is a slinger for real. Like every single game he's like that. These two guys are probably going to be that this weekend. They're going to end up having to sling the rock.
Love it.
John Diggs comeback game, baby. Just you watch. That guy's motivated.
Y'all keep forgetting
Just
about
you watch
Diggs,
this.
boy.
Don't forget about Diggs.
As
100-yard game
always,
last week.
we appreciate that, man. We really, really do. Yeah, no, I mean, that is an additional storyline with Stephon Diggs being back in Buffalo.
You don't give Josh Allen that little side eye when he passed me and be like,
Buffalo. One of the one of the little side eye actions over there. All right, let's bring in our last caller.
That should have been the damn event. That should have been the damn event.
What's going on, guys?
What's up,
I'm just gonna ignore the Dolphins fan in the room because he's a moron.
Yeah. Why y'all in y'all feelings? Y'all have to call people names and all that stuff. Y'all be so in y'all feelings. I don't call you.
Because we make you look like a moron every season.
No, you don't.
I'm not talking to you. You're in the basement. You're in the basement with the Jets. You don't mean shit. I'm trying to talk to Kobe. Shut up. No one's talking to you.
You're the moron.
No one's talking to you. Stop talking.
You lose every year in the playoffs and don't get to the Super Bowl thinking you are. That's moronic. Okay.
Anyway, as I was saying, Kobe, I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be close. I got this game: Bills 31, Patriots 27.
Okay, respect.
I think it's close. I think it's respectable. I think you guys are going to be able to walk away with this game saying we're close and we can hang.
Yeah, just respect us. That's all we want. Well, and the win. But.
Thank you. Listen. Oh, I can't wait.
There is no disrespect on either one of these fan bases right here. Andy, we appreciate We appreciate the call. Sincerely, man. Sincerely.
Certainly.
That's
Guys,
going to be
you know
like
what?
a big James Cook test too, because Patriots are the second best run defense in the NFL also.
So the thing with James Cook is interesting. Like there have been so many previews I've done in the past where I look at a top 5 run defense and I'm like, yeah, there's no way that James Cook is going to have a lot of touches
And he
like a
demolishes
lot of
it.
carries.
Yeah.
But then he does. And like he's part of the game plan. So
you don't need him to go
I
off
could-
like that either.
Yeah, dude. Like he's really stepped into his own and like he's been taking bell cow carries too.
Hey, it's that contract extension.
Yeah.
His
Back
vision
does that.
His vision is there. He's like an automatic 5 yards. So regardless of what he's been doing already, and this is a pretty good test to see what he can do, man. I'm really, really excited.
Top
Guys,
5
listen, need to give a giant shout out to our good friend Sleeper, folks. If you haven't already, definitely go check out Sleeper, the #1 player prop platform on the market today. They're matching 100% of your first deposit all the way up to $100. Very simple process. Simply go on ahead and pick anywhere between 2 to 6 players, predict accurately if they are going to go above or below their particular stat lines. And if you get all of them correct, then you can see returns up to 1,000x. Shout out to Sleeper, best player prop platform on the market today. Terms and conditions apply. Always play responsibly. Let's go around the table, say our goodbyes, folks. We'll go from there. Colby, what do you got to say? Go ahead.
Hey, man, as always, appreciate you guys for watching and tuning here into the AFC East Roundtable. At the end of the day, it's all love. It's all football. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you for allowing us to just be here, have a platform, talk football, and live out each of our individual dreams, man. Roundtable Sports to the absolute moon. Don't forget, me and Dan are both going to be live on our own channels, live watch party for this game on Sunday. So tune into both of our channels. Bring out your phone, bring out your tablet, put it on your TV, man, because you are going to see our live reactions in real time. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a great one indeed. TD, what do you got?
Listen, man, it's going to be great football this week. We already know what's going to happen to the Jets, but the Dolphins is going to have a competitive game. And I really can't wait for Sunday Night Football. Either way, no matter what happens, I think it's going to be a really good game. But boy, if the Bills lose. If y'all lose, man.
Oh, you said if. You said if.
Yeah, not when, if.
No, I believe they are, but I ain't always right. I'm 90% of the time right, but
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Someone fact check that. All right.
Yeah.
So I don't like those numbers. Connor, what do you got, man?
Dan, Colby, TD, thank you all for having me. It was great to fill in for Richie. Normally I'm optimistic, but I can't.
You're realistic, Connor. That's all we want.
I'm realistic. That's the way to put it. Nevertheless, thank you guys. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Smash the like button. Hit subscribe right here on the AFC East Roundtable. It sucks to be the only winless team in the AFC East. They're winning this week, though. I don't care. I just say it. I just say they're gonna lose to.
We're gonna send a care package to the basement.
He's baiting the Cowboys. You heard it here first, guys. Make sure you go subscribe to all of these individual channels, including Connor's as well, man. Great job over there in the YouTube sphere. We will see you tomorrow for fourth.
Yeah,
and
one
forever.
more thing. I think we got what we got. Did we get all the super chats?
Oh,
did we get so? I don't know how far behind we are on these.
Am I bad with the super chats? Sincerest apologies.
Whoa,
damn. Apologies. All right, we got that one. Go Bills, TD. Guess what? Bills Bowl 2026. I love that. Axel, how old were you the last time the Bills won the Super Bowl?
None of us were alive. It's never happened.
None of us were alive. How old were you when the Dolphins won the Super Bowl? You and I have both witnessed the same amount of Super Bowls, Mr. Axel. Where's the E in your name? Just lazy. To tell your parents that they're lazy. All right, where's the vowel, Axel? Richie is saying, shout out plus 900 Waller helping me cash out 1,000 doll hairs.
Damn, Rich, all right.
That's my guy.
Damn, tell me the best next time.
You can't win games with turnovers and penalties. Please hit that like button. Go Bills. Anthony
That's a
Padilla.
fact, Anthony. Our guy.
My guy, dude. We know him. Respect, Colby, because Sunday Night Football will be close, I think, but I look forward to 5-0 and Dan Shades in the smirk come Monday. Go Bills, baby.
That's right, man.
The Shades, man. The Shades are going to be a regular occurrence on this show. I'll tell you what. It's Murphy's Law with the Jets here for Bob. Tony, we read that one. Tom Brady, if Patriots beat the Bills, will your perspective change?
Has to, right, Dan? You beat a playoff team now.
And so you always play us tight. So it probably wouldn't.
Well, you look at the Patriots as a team that maybe is a potential playoff team if they beat the Bills, given where the Bengals and the Ravens are at.
24-23, Kobe.
Yeah.
Y'all got him.
So the way that the AFC is like shaking out right now, like first 3 seeds are probably going to be Bills, Steelers, Chargers. 4th, maybe the Colts. Yeah, I don't know.
Steelers are such fraud, bro.
A weird AFC playoff dynamic we're going to be witnessing this year. Move the Jets-Saints game to prime time for comedy.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me about that one. Q Trucker, TD picks against the Bills. Nothing new. Haha. Well, hey, man, listen, we're going to show them a little bit of something. Folks, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the AFC East Roundtable. We will see you tomorrow for 4th and Forever. Myself, Colby, and TD will be breaking down all of the NFL news around the league. See you soon. Peace.